Today Imperial is a group of 51,000 people. We operate in 31 countries and our business is mainly in what we define as mobility, which is a very large vehicles business mainly in South Africa and a very large logistics business mainly outside of South Africa. A large complex business. This year we'll do about 110 billion rands in sales and make about 6 billion rands of operating profit. Well, the way I've always thought about sustainability, when we were at business school or wherever we are taught, or in our financial courses, we're taught that the purpose of business is to make a profit for shareholders. I simply don't believe that. I've never believed that. I believe that any stakeholder can close your business down. If you don't look after customers, you won't have a business. If you don't look after your staff, you won't have a business. If you don't look after the environment, in the long term, you will not have a business. So for me, the concept of sustainability means meeting the reasonable demands of all stakeholders. In Imperial, of course, there are issues around those things. We are a very big user of the roads, a very big consumer of diesel fuels, and we generate a fairly big carbon footprint because of that. But for the moment, much more important than that for us is the leadership of this group. This group has got many deeply experienced individuals in it, but many of them are reaching the latter part of their careers, and part of my obligation is to make sure that the people that are going to run this business in 10 and 15 years' time are coming to the fore. So for the next few years, we see a very big investment into people. Last year we spent about 250 million rand on developing and educating people, teaching them skills and so on. But the focus over the next while is going to be on, let's call it, the most senior 150 leaders in this business. In many businesses, people come to work every day with about a 40% energy level, and most businesses have hammered that down to 20% by lunchtime. I believe that good leaders can take that 40% energy level and lift it to 60% by lunchtime, and if you're able to do that, you're operating at a multiple of what your competitors can. So in terms of the skills involved in releasing the energies and talents of our people through good leadership, I think it's massive, and I think that we are going to be spending time on teaching technically competent, very experienced people and managers in our business to add a layer of leadership on top of that, so they start to think further out about where they can take their businesses and how important the development of people is to that. Well, I think that good leaders are, by definition, not swayed by the exigencies of the moment. Good leaders read the environment better, and good leaders are more resilient because they are achieving great satisfaction from doing their job well, and they are not swayed by this morning's newspaper headlines. So part of good leadership, as far as I'm concerned, is seeing through some of the, let's call it, more short-term and oftentimes depressing situations that one faces in business, and saying that we're not building this business for today, we're building it for the future. And part of that is saying, how do we grow people for the future? How do we make them more resilient? How do we make them more thoughtful about where we are? And very importantly, how do we make them more agile? The world is changing so fast. We talk about volatility, we talk about headlines changing the world orders, we talk about currencies moving fast, and in that environment you can't plan for 20 years the way you could have in a slower moving environment. You have to have leaders who are agile and respond sensibly within a strategic framework. Well, if I could wave a magic wand and we do everything that I hope that we'll be able to do, in 3 to 5 years' time, Imperial will be a much more international business. I think we'll be able to legitimately call it a global business. I would hope that more than half of our profits come from outside of South Africa. It will certainly be a business of a younger cadre of leaders, so that those of us who are going to move on over the next 10 years will leave the business in good hands. And I would hope that it'll be more valuable for all stakeholders. I would hope that our people, our employees, I feel that it's a better place to work than it is today. I would hope that our shareholders find that it's a more valuable asset to own than it is today. So a general feeling that all stakeholders will be in a better position and that the quality of this business will have improved over the next 3 to 5 years.